Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to What the YA.
What the yeah?
What the
That's
ya?
what I'm gonna call it that for the entire existence of it. It's
That's
gonna
what
be
Steve
what the ya?
calls it too. He's just like, what are you doing?
What the ya?
What the ya? What
Yeah,
is
I'm just
that?
What the ya?
So yeah,
Like,
welcome.
Whoa.
We are talking about Lauren Kate's Fallen, book 1. We have feelings. It's a thing.
We have emotions. Just
It's horrible.
We'll just start with that. All right.
It's horrible. Yeah, what were the segments again? You have them right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Oh, no, she's gonna say
I know. True. I just wanted to see them. I couldn't remember.
It's not the order, though, right?
It could be, it could not be. Who knows?
I don't know. But we're going to be discussing our favorite parts of the book, our least favorite parts of the book, which I'm sure there are plenty. Some trope talk that happens in the book, general discussion, and then how we would fix it, which there's plenty to fix in this one.
So much.
So yeah,
Oh god.
I think we're up and running, as far as I can tell. So,
Hope.
do you want to start with most favorite or least favorite?
I feel like the most favorite, there's less to talk about there, so we can start there.
Yeah!
Let's start there. All right. Who wants to go first?
I don't even know what my favorite thing about this book is.
Well, I have one.
I mean, there was some cool stuff in the book.
Like what?
Like, the shadows. I really liked the shadows, that she, like, saw these fucking
I do like-
creature shadow things. They didn't, like, explain it, though, and that was...
We'll get into that
What
because spoiler alert for those watching
This
at
whole
home.
thing is a spoiler alert.
Yeah, but I personally took the initiative to go to the Wikipedia pages and see what the next couple of books were about. So you learn what the shadows are, and you learn that she could do stuff with them, and also you learn what they are, like what Lucy is in all of this. And it's
that's
stupid. The reveal is.
I was calling her Luce most of the time because I
too.
fucking hate how they spelt her name.
I was like, is it Luce? Like, what is your name?
For fun sometime when I was really hating on this book.
Do?
So real close to the end of it, I just would start calling her Luce because I was like, come on, Luce, let's get this shit over with, please, for the love of fucking God.
Same. Oh my god.
I'm just getting angry. No, I think the way I like the point where Lauren Kate like writes where she did like Lucy describes how the time she learned that the shadows weren't seen by everybody, and she just looks at her dad and is just like, what do you do when the shadows come? That was interesting. I was like, that's cool. I want to know more about that because like I want to know about what her father said, what they did afterwards. Like she's clearly seen shit. Like
What
Well,
did
they
they
thought she was
do?
insane.
well, they didn't think she was insane until like
No, she said she was like on
oh yeah,
medication
that she went into medication.
for
That's right.
things.
That's right.
And then she was taken off of it.
because she was better.
And then, she murdered someone, so.
Also,
great.
they never explain like
No! I thought, she was, like, the kiss of death.
yeah, like
I
was
know.
like, that's so cool. Because like you learn that Lucy, like anytime she remembers who she is and who Daniel is, she basically engulfs in flames. But they never explain why that happened to Trevor. And it's like if she kissed another boy, does he engulf in flames? Because she can't kiss anyone but Daniel.
Well, she kissed Cam.
Oh,
Yeah.
true, she did. But Cam is also an angel, so maybe he's like special.
Who knows?
Trevor
Who
is a
knows?
mere human. So.
Okay, before we go any further, does anyone want to recap, like,
Right.
Wait, before.
what is this book about?
Can we both appreciate that one of the boys' names in this book is one of Julia's ex-boyfriends, and one of the boys' names in this book is one of my ex-boyfriends?
It's great. I think at some part of us knew.
At the beginning of those, I guess that's
Well,
good.
he should.
All right, so who wants to try to encapsulate what this book is about?
Wow.
Like, if you could give it like 1 or 2 sentences, that's it. What would you say?
Garbage.
That's
No, not your opinion. Just,
I-
what it is.
No, I know, I got you, but that's what it is. So, like... Ooh.
School romance gone wrong.
School romance gone to heavenly heights.
That's good.
And heavenly lows?
Heaven, a lot of
Heavenly lows.
Hellish lows.
There you go.
That's basically it. It's like, but like, okay, can we talk about the school and why like everybody in the school is a fallen angel?
No, only like 5 people and a teacher.
There's only like 40 people at this school.
Those are the only people you ever hear about. There's like that couple that you like.
Oh yeah,
like,
they were just like
at the beginning, and they sneak off of campus, and then they get caught, and then they're like put somewhere, and you never hear of them again.
So many
Penn
mysteries.
Penn was human, true, but she was going there because
Penn was awesome. I'm really
I
upset that she died.
actually did not like Penn.
She was probably the only character that I felt like connected to, but then like her setup was really good, but then that also fell off. So
yeah, well, like my issue with Penn was like her dialogue always made me feel so weird, and I don't know why. And I think it was I know it like she is weird, so like maybe that's the point of it. But like I am also weird, so like, and I understand weird. So like,
was she?
But I don't
weird?
know. I don't know if it was just like written. But there's also like aspects of like Penn's personality that Lucy would like talk about, but that have never been. There's a lot of talking and not showing in this.
A lot
book.
of
like
telling,
all of Lucy's dreams are like talked about like after. It's like show us the dream, just write the dream.
It would be so much more interesting.
If like at the beginning of the chapter it started with like Lucy in a dream and then like her going about her day and like trying to come to terms with the dream, and so it's like, oh, then she remembered the dream she had last night, and it's like, why not just show us the dream, because you're gonna tell us what happened in the dream anyway.
To show
why
us,
not just like
so that we're there and have
like,
that emotional connection.
How the book was like written though, it was like written, you were following her, but it was still like third person.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like I was doing this. It was like Lucy.
But like you could
blah,
still
blah, blah, blah,
write that dream in like a way that like you make it very clear that it's like Lucy's dream, and then still like without having it be like something happened in her day-to-day life and then suddenly she recalls a dream that she had. And it's like that like thing where like they conveniently remember the thing that helps propel the story along. Like you could just write that earlier in the book and not have it be a convenient thing. But no, it's just like there's like bits of that where like Lucy would recall bits of Penn's like personality that's never shown. It's only what Lucy, and I don't know, I feel like that's why like my issue with Penn is like you're just going off of what Lucy says instead of Penn actually showing you bits of it.
We don't actually get to see a lot of the characters doing things that are big parts of their personality. Like almost everyone, even Lucy, like when she talks about herself.
She's like, oh, and like it's like she loves to swim, and it's like why not have her like have it been like, you know, it's like it would happen in Hush Hush too, where she swam, true, but like it's like she swam like twice.
Yeah, twice.
But like it happened.
Thunderstorm, you need to go swimming.
Yeah, obviously. But it happened in Hush Hush too, where like I forgot her name. Nora? Was that her name? She like talks about how she played the cello, or like how Pat like just like told her that she plays the cello, and she's like, how did
she never did.
She never plays the cello
at
all. It like ever comes up again. And like at least with like Lucy, she actually does swim, but like it's not until like swimming is a part of the plot that we learn that she enjoys swimming. Like I feel like it should have been introduced, her love of swimming should have been introduced like by talking about it or something, because like she was a new student, so maybe she had to like fill out a thing of like what do you like to do for fun. Like you could have done anything.
Well, and if it's something that you love, you're going to think about it, especially when you're in a stressful environment and it's something that relieves stress.
Because that's why she went swimming in the church at that point, because she's like, I'm stressed out, I need to think, so she goes to swim. So like
she should be doing that a lot.
She should have like been like she should have like found out that school had a pool, like maybe they mentioned it like, hey, over there is the pool, and then that could have triggered a thought.
That would have been like, this is going to be my best place ever.
Well, like no, she didn't get a tour, true, but like there's still like that could have easily been implemented into the book. That's like an aspect that we would change for sure, is like add that bit into the book where like she's a new student, like technically like they should have been like, over there's this thing, over there's this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. I know they're trying to give up the like, hands-off approach in the school, but like there's still like that easily could have been added into that book without
and it would have been like 2 paragraphs
like
that you can summarize.
yeah. But it was just but like that's like it's the same with like Ariana, who like was supposed to be like introduced as the weird kooky character at the beginning, and then you get introduced to Penn, who's also a weird kooky character. So it's like, and then Ariana just goes away. We see her every now and then. It's like Ariana was cool. I liked Ariana. She was interesting. And then you get introduced to Penn, who was like another. We found out the only other mortal, which is like probably why like they connected so well, but also because of Meatloaf. But like, it's like once that connection happens, like Ariana didn't exist anymore. We had the new weird friend, so we didn't need to have another weird friend.
It's weird how lax the school was for being like a reform school too. Like there was never teachers around, and when they did, they just like sat in the one classroom for 12 fucking hours. I would murder myself.
There's
like,
two teachers.
Why would you do that?
Mr. Cole and the albatross. That's it. And then Randy, who's not a teacher.
Randy, yeah. But yeah, every time there wasn't any consequences for breaking the rules when any character did it.
Just gonna turn off all the cameras.
Except the two kids who snuck off of campus.
Right.
That's it. They're the only ones who got punished because everyone else were angels. It's very special.
Whatever.
Get away from shit.
Okay, so I don't know if we ever like described the plot in all of that, but
did not.
Nope. Basically, why don't you do that?
I don't know. Well, it's like the whole amnesia, love through the ages trope, where someone doesn't remember that they have this long lost, centuries old love with someone.
Okay, real quick, the introduction of Daniel, favorite moment.
When he flicks her off.
Favorite.
I looked up
oh my god.
I think that was my favorite moment.
Oh my god, I was dying. I was like, this is
gonna be the best book ever if this is how it starts. No.
I my note at the end, because I was like Red Scarf is a babe, and then I just started like laughing. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh my god. So for those who don't know, Daniel is like, spoiler alert, Lucy's love through the ages. They're like star-crossed lovers. They have this thing. When Daniel's first introduced, Lucy is like blown away by his beauty. He's wearing a red scarf, which the uniform for the school is all black, but people get away with wearing it. So Daniel wears a red scarf. I think someone like Cam wears like a jacket or something. I think, who knows, whatever. Who the fuck knows? I don't know, but people get away with shit all the time. But he's wearing this red scarf and he's like talking with a dude. His name is Roland. Also, wasn't there a person in Hush Hush named Roland?
Yes. Yes, there was. He's really cool though.
Yeah.
Roland, I feel like he would have been a quote. I hope they do more with him later. I liked his
Me
character.
too, because he's interesting.
Like, he's a bad guy.
He can get you anything.
Yeah, but he
has dreadlocks. He's cool.
He's friends with everyone.
Yeah, he was one of the more interesting side characters for sure.
Who's not utilized in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But so Daniel is introduced. Then like there's like a moment where Lucy and Daniel's eyes meet, and like he smiles at her, and she's like, "Wow!" And she like has this uncanny like thing where she recognizes him from somewhere. She doesn't know where, because spoiler alert from a past life. Her heart recognizes him, and they smile at each other, and then Daniel raises his hand as if to wave, and then just flicks her off. That's it.
It's the best thing.
And then the bell rings, and they have to go to class, and it's the best introduction ever of all time.
That's why it's like it sets the bar so high. So it's like if this is where it's starting.
That was the first chapter too. So you learn about like this boy that exploded, and then this other boy, basically. So this boy exploded. Then there's another boy named Cam who's new. He's coming back. He was on parole, and now he's not on parole. Whatever. So like, Cam comes back, but he's technically new, which is why he's with Lucy. They introduced it. He's cute, and then you introduce to Daniel. So like the first chapter is so good. It's a great introduction, because there's also a prologue which introduces like this relationship between these two people who you don't know at the time, but you really start to fucking figure it out like a chapter in. They're like, oh, it's these two. Yeah, I get it. I understand. I
actually didn't. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I like forgot that happened for a minute. I was like. You have every right, because after a while of the watered down shit that happens, like the next couple of chapters, it's hard to remember that, like, oh right, there was like a thing at the beginning that like had
which is the same thing with Hush Hush.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they never Chauncey.
Chauncey. Seriously, bring back the name Chauncey. We gotta do it. Popular baby name of 2018.
Not it.
not it. No goes. But yeah. So like, there's like, it's such a good introduction, and then it just gets weird, and then just stupid, and then just nothing. But yeah, Lucy just comes to the school because she killed a boy, or everyone thinks she killed a boy. He exploded.
Yeah.
So she just happened to be there. So she gets sent to this reform school, which also has a bunch of other reform kids, but who don't seem like they should be reform kids. Like, I feel like that's something that Lucy mentions a lot, is like, they don't feel like reform kids, they don't feel like they're bad
like
kids.
Normal.
But then like certain things happen where she's like, oh right, these people are criminals. And it's like, yeah, no shit. I think I wrote on the first chapter, I was like, all these people are murderers. Like, I was just
know, right?
Oh yeah, I was like, there are actually murderers here. Oh my god. Because like one of them like talked about like, oh yeah, he like killed somebody, and it's like, what the fuck? What?
He should be in jail, not right.
I know. But it's such a really interesting setup where it's like, oh, there's actually all these bad people around, and she didn't do anything bad, so that's a really cool thing. But then nothing happens of that. So she's tormented by like her understanding of like what happened to Trevor, the boy who exploded, and her feelings for Cam, who is a hot boy who is interested in her, and her feelings for Daniel, who is a hot boy who she is super interested in.
I literally put, Daniel is a dick, aka she will fall in love with him.
I think I wrote Daniel is the worst. Like almost every single chapter.
Chapter 3.
Yeah, almost every single chapter I wrote Daniel is literally the worst.
I think at one point I was like, Team Daniel, Cam is creepy.
Yeah, I definitely put in there at one point the Cam was creeped me out.
Because like in the beginning he's like, oh, this is gonna be interesting because from the prologue, you know, oh, so she's gonna end up in love with Daniel. So I was hoping that like maybe Cam would step in and then ruin everything somehow, some sort of prophecy. I don't know, something was gonna happen, but that never.
They fought outside. That was kind of. I wanted
so
more.
Many good stories that could have happened.
Like, there's a lot of setup for great stuff that just doesn't pan out ever. It's just like oh god. But yeah, and like the hot and cold with Daniel, like I hate that trope so much of like, I hate you, but like I'm gonna show my feelings for you, but then I'm gonna hate you immediately because I have to hate you. It's like, fuck off. Like, fuck off.
I read someone's review on Goodreads, and it was like one line. It was like, well, I didn't like this book because I didn't like it the first time when it was named Twilight. And I was like, yeah.
That's a lot too. They're like, this is pretty much Twilight, but with angels instead of vampires.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, like I have to hate you because if I love you, then you'll die. And then she doesn't die, and then Daniel freaks out, and he's still kind of a dick to her.
Right.
Look, it's like, what?
She didn't die, bro.
Be happy. But he's just like,
that's why you don't get baptized.
But then, like, okay, if when you kiss her, she dies, like, why would you even kiss her?
Because he's drawn to her.
Well, like,
you've gone through this so many times. Like, you should have some sort of will by now.
Well, like, in the prologue, he only Daniel
has to kiss her once every 17 years.
Basically. But, like, Daniel is trying to...
She dies!
Work it!
Like, in the prologue, Daniel is trying to leave. Like, that's, like, he's trying to leave before anything could happen, because he doesn't want her to remember. And then she finds him, and then she remembers, and then he gives her a kiss because he knows that when she fully remembers, she'll be gone. And then he talks about, in there, too, like, sometimes they can kiss, and, like, she makes it, but usually it takes until she fully remembers everything, that once her past lives come to her, that's when she explodes. She, like, combusts. So, like, there have been lives where they've been able to be, like, intimate together, but haven't been able, once she remembers everything, that's when things, but I guess sometimes the kiss is what remembering everything is, or whatever. And, like, yeah, but I hated Daniel so much. Like, I couldn't.
Like, every time he's like, oh, I'll tell you the truth. Oh, wait, bye.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm gonna be really sweet to you, and I'm gonna show you to this lake where we can swim, and, like, whatever, but I'm gonna, like, fucking be an asshole dick, and, like, talk to you, like, an asshole, and then leave. And then I'm gonna do it again.
After promising I'm gonna tell you things.
Yeah. Oh, it's so frustrating. And like, yeah, like I love the like she wasn't baptized. She's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But like
I knew that was it.
Yeah.
Legit.
I like everybody's name pissed me off too. So I was just like, really? Like, so you're not even trying. Like, I wish I could. What chapter was it? Because I know I wrote down like her name is Mary Margaret. Like Molly's real name is Mary Margaret, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
That's your fucking name.
Your name is Mary Margaret.
Apparently. So.
But Grigori means watcher, which is like a term used in some religions as angel.
Really?
Yes. I was like,
well, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Like, that stuff doesn't bother me because, like, a lot of things do that and it works fine in other things, so.
I looked up Cameron, because Cameron's last name is Briel, and I looked it up, and it means something in religion. I can't remember what it was.
In religion?
Like, yeah, in like some sort of religions. Ariana's last name is Alter, and I was like, really? You just been like, I need religious words to use as my last name. I was like, guys, come on, just like be a little bit.
Okay.
No.
After all of this weird stuff happens, when does she actually find out angels are a thing? Like, not till like the end, right?
It's like chapter 17-ish.
It's 18 because I was oh my god, he's an
she's
angel.
Like she runs.
No way.
She runs. She's like, there's never they don't tell her. They never tell her that she's an angel. She just finally puts together the pieces of her dreams and what say it. How long have you been 17?
Oh no.
But she like puts together the pieces of like her dreams and what Daniel told her, and she runs up to him. She's like, "You're an angel," and he's like, "You understand?" And it's like, "Fucking Jesus, goddamn Christ!" Oh my god! And then Sophia,
librarian, was like, "Fucking, she's getting fired, man."
I'm not sure how to.
Oh my god! I'm sorry, Google. Shh.
What is fucking going on?
I probably heard something like that sounded like
the word that you have to say. Let's not say it.
Also, I'm just flipping through my notes. In chapter 13, they have Parents' Day, so Lucy's parents come to see, and her mom, I just wrote a pocketbook. Her mom has a pocketbook. I'm like, I haven't heard the word pocketbook since I was a kid. What? And I was like, when was this book written? When was this written?
It was like 2009.
Because like I'm pretty sure
I think it's 2009.
It's like copyright. What's your copyright? Copyright 2009? And I was like, are they in the 90s? Like, is this written in the 90s? Because like that's what it looks like. Her mom felt like she was so much older than she actually was.
I thought the school itself was really cool. Like it had some side of like haunted past or something, and they never like they would always talk about how creepy it was and all this crap. Why is there a graveyard literally right next door? I think they did
because there's a church,
but
it's because like the grounds were where they had us fight for
sort of war.
It was during the Civil War, and the church, because like most churches had cemeteries near it at that time, so whatever, and then like people are dead.
It happens.
Also, can we talk about how they buried Todd or did they, like, I would, like, literally wrote, because I was like, did they bury Todd at the school? Because they were having a memorial service?
No, I don't think he was in there.
No, he wasn't there. They just had a memorial.
Like,
because it was, like, I was just like,
that's weird.
I was like,
no one even liked Todd.
Poor Todd!
Gotta go.
Todd was introduced in the first chapter as a new kid and then died.
No. He was around. He was the
mentioned.
One that the teachers,
he was in the
he had to sit next to the teacher.
Oh yeah,
he had to
sit next to Mr. Cole. Yeah. He couldn't go to the after party after the social.
Right.
But yeah, I was just like,
he reminds me of like Lauren in Twilight, where he's just like, oh yeah, Todd. There's this other character.
Yeah, who the fuck is Todd? And then like he's supposed to have like a crush on Penn, and it's like, what? I wish we could have seen that.
Yeah.
Because like that's
mentioned like once or twice.
Yeah, Penn, like when the library like the moment at the library where he dies, Penn talks about how Todd's over there and how she thinks he has a crush on her. And it's like, if that's true, that's so cute. I wish we could have seen that.
Let's go into that.
Anything. Anything.
Never.
Where did I write? I was like, I like chapter 12. They buried him at Sword Cross. I was like, no, okay, it's just a memorial. His body went home. Okay, Jesus fucking Christ.
That would have been way weird.
Fucking kidding me?
If you die here, you stay here forever.
Also, on my chapter 11 notes, the last thing I wrote was, Lucy grosses me out.
What did she do? What's 11?
I don't know. I don't know. I think she was talking about how
I woke up from coma, dream of Daniel, Angel.
Oh yeah, she was in the hospital and she was thinking about what it would be like if Daniel like hugged her and touched her and what his body would feel like, and I was like, ew, I'm grossed out right now. Like, you just do whatever.
I mean, Daniel sounds pretty hot.
He does,
he's but
like
Sam is taller though.
I imagined them the same height, so I was like, whatever.
I think.
I also wrote, he brought flowers, bipolar boy toy syndrome. Because like 1 minute he's like, get away from me, and then like, I thought you.
And he's like, I'm
flowers.
so sorry.
Yeah,
like,
I'm so
why
sorry.
are you sorry?
Why?
That she was in that situation, or that you didn't like save
it all, like, from his point of view, it does make sense, but it's so it puts off the reader so much that it's like they should have figured all this out by like the third of the way through the book.
People are reading this book because she has more.
Yeah,
it's like 5.
This is a bestseller.
Why?
I mean, Julia, why is Hush Hush a bestseller?
I liked it the first time I read it. And the second time I realized how much of a psycho Patch was.
Yeah. And like, I feel like
a
everybody's first time reading this book, if you read it without like a critical eye or without thinking about anything, I could see why people would be into like, ooh, like, cause it's like in every young girl's fantasy, like there's a boy just meant for you, like out in the world. This one just happens to be a fucking angel. So like, it's like absolutely something that totally is like geared towards like 15-year-old girls who are just like, who are sad and miserable because they don't have a boyfriend.
Well,
and
like,
they know,
not even that. It could be like anyone.
Yeah, well, like, yeah, it's just like, but like, it's that idea of like, when I was a teenager, I was sad and alone, and I always told myself, like, there's someone out there for me who is made and designed for me. There's like, that's that bullshit that you see on Facebook.
Someone
that's, like,
who understands.
Yeah, everyone has a soulmate. Everyone has someone who is like perfectly designed for you, and it's like, no, you like, no one's perfectly designed for you. It's you making an effort for love. Like, love doesn't just happen. You make love.
And yet, there's all these books.
Make love.
In all the ways.
Yes.
In that way too. ...
I guess.
Just let that go.
Yeah. Don't say that again.
Moving on. I could just say have sex, but like, no. It's more intimate. Love.
Soulmate.
But yeah.
Soulmates.
So I was gonna save this question for the next podcast, but we can discuss it further with Hush Hush in that one. But in this one, do you think there's any value to books like this that don't really have a plot, but they have the emotional plot pretty well down? They don't really have an external plot until like the very end.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah. No, well, like, yeah, like, the emotional journey is great, and I love that. Like, I love emotional journeys, because everyone's on some sort of emotional journey, but it doesn't make for a good read when nothing is happening. At all. Yeah. Because, like, especially when nothing is happening until four chapters to the end. It's like, oh, now everything is happening.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah. And it's like, I understand like that, like it should be focused on Lucy's emotional journey, like trying to come to terms, but like we also don't know what the fuck happened at all. So like it would be better if it was an emotional journey that paralleled with her trying to like understand what happened. But instead it's like she's not actively trying to figure out what happened. She's just sitting back and
she's
letting
just
her
like,
life.
I don't know.
There's
this boy over here.
I just have to come to terms with
one over there.
Yeah, there's also one conveniently on the other side.
Let's focus on that.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, but that's
not on fixing our problems.
Typical teenager. I like this boy, but this boy also likes me.
It's like a typical YA trope. It's like there's one girl and there's 2 boys who are equally attractive. Well, actually, Daniel is technically more attractive in Lucy's eyes, but they're both attractive. And
Cam
gives gifts. Cam is because like I enjoyed that.
And then he's a rageful alcoholic.
All of a sudden.
What was that? What that whole chapter? I'm like,
what
first of all, you
happening?
don't get into cars with strangers.
No.
Ever. Don't do that.
Like it's just like she has like that moment, and it's a moment that I actually liked, where she was like, why do I continuously keep going after Daniel, who is so hot and cold with me, whereas there's this really cute boy who is actively interested in me and is actively nice to me and is trying to like.
But even like Penn said,
her.
Like they were talking about Cam once, and
she was like,
he's not very nice. She's like, oh well, he's really nice to me.
Yeah,
like,
because he wants to get
nice
in your pants.
To you, yeah.
Duh. That's how boys work. They're not nice to anyone unless they want to have sex with you, right?
That's not true.
Well, every young adult book I've ever read is lying.
That's the picture that they paint.
Yeah, but like that's like
real life.
But like that's like the issue though, is like I grew up reading young adult books, and like you learn things from young adult books, and like you take on stuff and you want stuff to happen that happens in young adult books, and you like, and things that happen in young adult books that happen in real life you can explain away, like, oh, he probably just really likes me, that's why he's being a giant asshole,
or he has a secret that I can like pry out of him with our love.
I can change him because he's like a bad boy, but like I can change him,
can make
like
him
that's that
like
fucking
the
thing.
good bad boy.
Yeah, it's the entire it's because of books like this. Like, this shit that girls think
it's like that shouldn't be your focus.
Focus on you.
What about your life? What do you want?
We're definitely off topic here, but like that, like that's the point of this podcast though, is like talk about like young adult books, the genre in general, and what the fuck it does to people and society.
Just like Disney.
And I mean, that's true.
It's like that moment where like Penn is like, he's only nice to you, like he's actually like a giant asshole. But like I wish we could have seen like bits of that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because then it could be like Lucy could explain it away and be like, oh, it's like the typical like girl thing. It's like, no, he's fine. It's weird. He's nice to me. Because that's like, that would be interesting, because that's like the tendency of abuse victims, like who are in like domestic abuse like relationships. Is like they'll explain away like shitty behavior because they love them, and it's like that would have been interesting to explore. They're not even in a relationship, but like some of the shitty things he does, she's explaining away because he's nice to her. And it's like it would be cool if like something happened with Penn, and like Cam and Penn had like some sort of thing, and like Lucy and Penn have like falling out because like she doesn't believe her or something. Like there's so many cool, more interesting things that could have happened to explore like Cam's shitty side. Other than the fact, because like at the end he's like, I'm actually a bad guy, and it's like, what? Like you've been so
I don't
nice.
buy that at all.
I don't.
He chose Lucifer.
Yeah. It's just, oh my god. Oh, that part where like Molly's just like, Lucifer, any relation? I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Molly is just a horrible person. Like,
also, can we?
Who does that to someone? Just like meatloaf on their fucking face in my hair. I would have murdered the bitch. Don't touch my hair. Putting fucking food in my hair.
Don't touch my hair.
Don't
touch me. Also, can we also talk about, and this is one of the things that really pissed me off about this book, is how everybody who's a bad guy is like the quintessential visually bad guy, and everyone who is a good guy is the quintessentially visual good guy. Yeah. Like Gaby is like this really sweet. Also,
Southern.
We'll talk about Gaby and Lucy's relationship in a minute, because I have some emotions about that too. Okay. But like it's like Gaby is like this really sweet like Southern little girl who's just all the sweetest thing. Ariana is strange and weird. She's the closest thing to having someone not be of that mold. Because like Ariana's good, but she's weird and quirky and strange, but she's also inherently like not a bad person in any way, shape, or form. Roland is a bad guy who has dreadlocks, and he can get you shit.
Bad guys have dreadlocks.
He's like the closest one that's like not. But then Cam and Molly are bad guys, and they're shown as being like visually like
wearing dark clothes and
Molly is like the classic goth, like piercings everywhere, like whatever. And it's like, I thought we were past
Does she have
this.
piercings?
Yeah, they said she had piercings all over. Yeah, and I was just like, are we past
about the hair?
This like idea and concept of like good isn't always shown as good and bad isn't always shown as bad. Like, it would have been so much more interesting if, like, Molly was actually, like, the really good character and Gaby was the bad one. Like, that would have been so much more interesting to find out.
Yeah.
It's like, that would have been, like, an interesting twist. And, like, or whatever. But, like, it just bothers me when stuff, like, does that. Because, like, it's like, I don't know if you've ever been into a Hot Topic, but, like, they're the nicest people I've ever talked to.
Yeah.
Ever. My entire life. And I meet people that are like Gaby, and they're the meanest people I've ever talked to. So, like, I don't know. It's just, like, it's something that, like, I feel like is a trope that is often explored. Like, the people who are visually bad are the bad characters, and it's, like, that's way less interesting to read. Because then you know the twist.
And you shouldn't make it so cartoony, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, piercings all over her face, short hair, and then heels. Like just ridiculous. Like, just whatever. Isn't there other books in the Fallen collection? There are other. Hi, Milk It. There are other books in the Fallen series. There's four books.
We should probably. Yeah. Let's move on to that.
There's four. They're on the back. There's four books. No, there's four. This is like
it's like a short story, right?
Yeah. There's four that like. There's five, I guess. No, four. And then there's like Fallen in Love, which is like
a novella.
It's a novella, and then there's Unforgiven. So the entire series is like a 4-book series.
Can you tell them what you found on the wiki page?
Oh, sure, yes. I would love to. So, in the second book...
well, okay, let's establish, if you haven't read it, so there's these shadows that follow Lucy. We don't really get any real explanation.
Called announcers.
They announce bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, and then at the end of the book, everyone's an angel.
Yeah, everyone's...
Right.
Like, that's basically it.
Who's Eric? Oh, wait, no, sorry! Hi, Eric. I take it back. Know who you are. Now I feel like a dick.
Oh my god. Ooh, that's good. I love that.
Alright, so yeah, that's how book 1 ends. And then Lucy has to, like, be hidden somewhere.
Yeah. So in book 2, she's taken to another school, where she meets two other people who are
angels?
No, they're Nephilim. Or Nephilim.
Oh,
whatever.
yes, I love it.
So they introduced that bit. And so they have magical abilities because of their angel blood, but they're not as powerful as angels, blah, blah, blah. One of the
people supposed to be, like, more powerful, but whatever.
I don't know. I skimmed over, I was, like, reading through this. Like, this is, like...
Well, it depends on the powers that they obtain from the angel...
It depends on the thing. It depends on the thing. Like, I'm trying to remember everything, because, like, the one that stuck out to me, like, the most in my head was the fucking end. But she meets...
Let's ruin everything. What's the end?
Yeah. But she meets Shelby and Miles, both of them are Nephilim. Miles has a crush on her. But Miles
More boys?
Yeah. Miles is able to, like, shapeshift into people.
That's cool.
But only people that he is in love with, or whatever.
That's dumb.
It's like, oh, cool! Stupid. I can't remember what happens at the end of book 2. Daniel comes to visit her. He sees Miles kiss Lucy on a windowsill. She finds out not only the elders, so the elders, and whatever.
Lucy's mouth gets around. Sam. I mean.
You find out the elders, the group that Sophia is a part of. The elders want her. She finds out the elders want, not only the elders want her, but the outcasts. The outcasts are people who are on neither side. Which I don't understand.
What's the actual external plot that's happening?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me anything.
There is none.
Because this
she just goes to school again.
This is what the wiki for book 2 says. After the dramatic events have fallen, Kim and Daniel make an 18-day truce to protect Lucy from the outcasts. I still
only
don't
18
fully understand.
days.
18 days. That doesn't help me, thank you. Lucy is hidden at Shoreline, a school where both humans and Nephilim attended. Lucy finds out more about her past lives with the help of two Nephilim friends, Shelby, Lucy's roommate, and Miles, whose affection for Lucy causes her to doubt her relationship with Daniel.
Gaspers.
How dare she?
Daniel will do anything to protect
So that's probably what it is about.
Yeah.
Her
torments
there
over...
Oh my god.
It's called torment! Oh my god. Sorry. Yanking headphones.
I have piercings in my ears.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Daniel will do anything to protect her, which includes forcing her to stay at Shoreline to keep Lucy safe. Discovering some of her past lives, Lucy realizes how their love hurt the thousands of families she once lived with. During her time in Shoreline, Lucy's division between angels and demons.
I mean, you're constantly dying. Yeah. You're gonna hurt people.
Demons becomes blurry when she discovers that Daniel and Cam are fighting side by side. At times, Daniel visits her to make her feel happier about her situation. She then finds out he had a fling with Shelby many years ago. At one time, when Daniel comes to visit her,
which is fine. Like your girlfriend dies every time you kiss her. Like that's fine.
It's okay.
At one time, when Daniel comes to visit her, he sees Miles kiss Lucy on a windsill. She finds out that not only the elders want her, but that the outcast beings who are neither angels nor demons want to capture her.
But not human?
Not human.
What are they then?
They're beings who are neither angels nor demons. Want to capture Lucy's parents have a Thanksgiving party, and when her parents go out, the outcasts arrive in Lucy's backyard to fight the angels. Lucy finds out that Miles has feelings for her, as he can replicate a person, but only if he loves them. Lucy is stressed from the violence and decides to find out more about her past lives by jumping through one of the shadows, leaving everybody behind her.
What the fuck?
Leaving her past and into her future, and Daniel, her true love, follows her.
There's like too much going.
So yeah, at the end of Torment, she jumps into one of her shadows because she learns that she can go in. Like, I guess by learning about her past lives, she learns that she can jump into the shadows, like she can manipulate them or something or whatever. Because I guess we learned that the shadows are her past lives who are coming to announce things for. I don't know.
And no, Eric.
But
none of us liked the book.
No.
It was
no, Eric. It was bad.
Thumbs down.
Bad. All around, thumbs down. So Torment. That's why I could not remember Torment's plot in any way, shape, or form.
Seems like nothing. It's just like a jumping point to get to the shadow bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Which should have happened in the first book.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
In which is the third book, this is where things take a turn, my friends.
A longer paragraph.
Yeah, much longer. Lucy is like going through her shadows, and she learns that by jumping through her shadows, she visits her past lives.
Nice. And that's cool. Again, cool setup.
Lucy is cursed to die every 17 years. She learns that the reason why she dies every 17 years is because she's cursed to die every 17 years.
Well, they did say that in the first book, that they were both cursed.
Yeah. But, they're cursed to, in the first book, they're cursed to love each other. And then what happens is when, Lucy remembers who she is, then she dies. In this one, you realize that she's cursed to die every 17 years. It just so happens to coincide
with remembering. That's dumb.
And years and being reincarnated, but she has no idea what causes her continual deaths. All Lucy knows is that with every death, she is separated from her lover Daniel, who follows her through eternity, falling in love with her again and again in every lifetime. As Lucy sprints blindly through time, she meets a small gargoyle named Bill.
Fucking love gargoyle.
I love that.
Bill. His name is Bill. I was like, yes, I am in for gargoyles named Bill. Yes. Okay, maybe there's some hope. It's dashed. It's dashed a little bit.
No, Bill, why?
No. He claims to have all the answers Lucy needs. That's exciting. Cool. Already immediately not good. Where was I? Who claims to have all Lucy needs if she will let him travel with her. So Bill's like, I will help you, learn some shit if you just let me come with you. Although Lucy's skeptical, she decides to partner with Bill in the hopes that he will speed her quest along. Meanwhile, Daniel is also traveling through the time trying to find Lucy. So Daniel is just, jumping through shit, too, trying to figure stuff out.
Are they, fucking shit up by, going to different times?
Yes, they learned that that's a possibility. That's
possibly.
Yeah, if she fucks
time travel is dangerous.
Currently, what's happening is she's just going into Bill shows
so there's
her that
nothing actually angel related happening.
No, later there will
Daniel's an angel.
I mean, he is one, but
you learn that there is because of a twist at the end, which is the last paragraph on this page. But basically, what's happening is every time she goes to visit her past lives, she's just kind of watching it and not necessarily being a part of it. Is what I've
So that
gathered.
Sounds like the most terrible read ever.
Yeah. So she's seeing things happen. She makes. He knows that Daniel, who's chasing her, knows that Lucy is doing extremely dangerous things. If she makes one false move, she could alter history forever, potentially killing herself for good. But Daniel's not the only one searching for Lucy, because Cam's also racing through the shadows, because whatever.
He likes to fuck with Daniel.
Lucy's friends from school, Shelby and Miles, are also attempting to locate Lucy, but being Nephilim, the offspring of fallen angels and humans, their time-traveling skills are clumsy at best, creating extremely dangerous situations for all of history. So I like to think that this book is set up in different point of views, and we get to see all of them just fuck their way through everything.
It sounds like a lot of telling.
Yeah. A lot of telling and not a lot of showing. Throughout the novel, Lucy travels to various times in her history, ranging from Moscow, 1941, to the literal beginning of history at Heaven's Gate.
We're going to heaven now.
Yeah.
Is Lucy there?
Moments before the angels fall. Well, the reason why she is there is because it's one of her memories. So yes, she was there.
Why is she there?
We'll get there. Lucy struggle.
I want to know.
I know. I was like, okay.
There's actually something intriguing happening.
The Wikipedia page is a better read than anything else. But Lucy struggles to discover the meaning behind her death and the truth of her love for Daniel. Lucy goes through many different transitions, first feeling that Daniel is attracted to her simply because of the curse, not because he actually loves her. So, which is a valid reason.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's a good, like, he only loves her because of a curse, which makes her, like, feelings for Cam and her feelings potentially for Miles seem much more warranted, and, like, her torment for that.
Way more real.
Cam just, like, trying to get under Daniel's skin.
Yeah, no, I absolutely 100% feel...
So let's go for Miles, Team Miles? Alright. I haven't even met this dude in, like, character form.
From there, Lucy learns that in every reincarnation, her soul is automatically drawn to Daniel's, and Daniel could have taken advantage of that seemingly mindless admiration. Instead, in each life, Daniel wins Lucy over. He makes sacrifices during her love again and again. In this, Lucy learns that Daniel loves her more deeply than she ever imagined. So everything's fine.
Great. Stupid.
But Miles...
But Maya, in her attempt to understand why she continues to die again and again, Lucy learns from Bill how to go 3D. Leaving her current soul to her past souls, allowing Lucy to enter the bodies of her past selves and experience her histories as if they are occurring in the present moment.
Why didn't we do that in the first place?
Well, that's what I mean by, like, when she's, like, there, she's just watching, and then she can go 3D and learn to, like, leave her soul and join the soul of her other thing. So I think
why would you even have the middle thing?
I don't know.
Why isn't Bill in the first book?
To experience her histories that they're occurring in the present moment. Through this, Lucy sees a montage of images of Daniel's face whenever she dies. Lucy believes that Daniel is terrified not of what is happening to Lucy, but of Lucy herself.
Oh.
Foreshadowing.
Is it, though?
Kind of.
She is a murderer.
Through Bill's guidance, Lucy makes the decision to kill her eternal soul. The soul cursed to being reincarnated forever, thus setting herself and Daniel free from their oppressive love forever. Once the curse is broken, Lucy and Daniel will cease to exist. So, like, she's basically deciding, like, I'm going to destroy my eternal soul, and then because, like, her and Daniel are meant to be together, they will cease to exist completely.
So she's making that decision for both of them.
Yes.
What? Wow.
Once the curse is broken, the souls will no longer be drawn together, and they will be strangers to each other. Although it breaks her heart, Lucy believes that this is the only way to truly set Daniel free. Bill is inexplicably gleeful at the thought of Lucy killing her soul and makes...
Bill's a bad guy.
Oh, it's great.
No, Bill, why?
And makes all the necessary arrangement for Lucy's decision. When the moment arrives, however, Lucy is unable to free her soul, claiming that she could never separate herself from Daniel and that there must be another way to break the curse. When he hears this, Bill is furious. He transforms from being a sweet gray gargoyle to evil incarnate. Throughout their entire journey, Bill, who is really Satan...
What? She's just chilling with Satan the whole time.
Has been deceiving Lucy in the hope
of breaking desk right now.
Daniel's heart, sending him to the dark side. So basically, this is all just an attempt to get Lucy to go, like, for Lucy to do this so that Daniel goes dark side. Because currently, there's like a balance tip, so they're even on both sides. Daniel's the decider. Whatever way Daniel goes is whoever's going to be stronger. So if he leans to light, which is what Miss Sophia was trying to do, because Miss Sophia's like, if I kill her, then he won't have this like need to like no one can torment him. He'll just be to the light side or whatever. And then Cam is trying to pull. Yeah, it's stupid, but that's the thing.
Why is it just Daniel?
No. has been deceiving Lucy in the hopes of breaking Daniel's heart into that. When Lucifer stepped away from heaven, all the angels were forced to choose a side, heaven or hell. A handful of angels, including Daniel, Cam, and many of Lucy's school friends, chose not to take a side and were forced out of heaven, becoming fallen angels. Since then, both heaven and hell have been trying to convince the angels to choose one side or the other, thus altering the power of good and evil in the world. Satan needs one more angel to gain more power than heaven, and he hopes... What?
So Lucy was an angel?
Potentially.
Then why is she human?
I'll explain. It gets kind of explained.
Why are they fallen angels and she's just fucking human?
I will explain in Rapture.
Oh. We're not even there yet?
No, it's another full fucking book.
I thought we were in the last book already.
No. This is just passion. Oh, we're not in Rapture.
I'm so passionate about my hatred.
Doesn't explain it, but Rapture explains it, but it's an infuriating reason. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
Satan needs one more angel, and he hoped Daniel will be that soul. Now he must hatch a new plan to win over Daniel's soul, a plan that will be executed in the fourth and final book in the series. At the end of the novel, Lucy and Daniel are reunited with the rest of the fallen angels and prepare to battle Satan for their eternal souls in the hopes of saving the world and breaking the curse between Lucy and Daniel once and for all.
Oh my god.
Eric says, you had me at Gargoyle Bill's 3D power. Alright.
Satan.
Rapture. Lucy, Daniel, and the other angels had 9 days to stop Lucifer from bending time and erasing everything since the fall. They fought Mini Scale, the elders, Miss Sophia with the help of the outcasts. They are in allegiance with the outcasts now. In order to locate the site of the fall, they have to find the 3 relics first. This is the most shittily put together synopsis of all of them on Wikipedia.
Great.
So
that's
I had to do some reading to figure out what was happening. So from what I understand, they're now in cahoots with the outcasts who need help. Whatever. They need to go to the site of the original fall, so where when they fell, whatever.
So it was an actual spot on Earth?
I guess. Yes. Okay. I guess.
That's cool.
And they need to find 3 relics.
Where's this located?
I don't know.
Stonehenge.
Well, the Stonehenge. Everything was up to Lucy this time. She now has the ability to see through her past lives without the use of an announcer. So she gained the ability by jumping through her announcers. She doesn't have to do that now. She can see her past lives.
That sounds like a headache.
Whatever that means. She discovered her true nature on just her own. She knew that the curse prevented her from knowing her true nature as an angel. So the curse kept her. So she is an angel. The curse kept her from knowing that. Caused her to die whenever she began to approach a memory of her past. That's why none of the others could tell her who she was. Because she was once an angel, and even became Lucifer's evening light. Lucinda and Lucifer loved each other way long before, and it is them that invented love itself.
Yes! Why isn't this in the first book?
Her first love...
Because it would be 1 book.
That's fine. That's all
5
we need.
to tell this story.
Her first love had been Lucifer, and she had been his. Lucinda and Lucifer became the first beings to experiment with affection beyond God.
So Gargoyle Bill?
Gargoyle Bill.
Gargoyle Bill is Lucifer.
Yes. He grew more possessive, more envious of Lucinda's adoration of the throne, which I'm assuming is God. Maybe. The reason
Maybe it's just a chair.
Her chair. I mean, I do love chairs, so I get it. I understand.
Or it's the Game of Thrones books.
True.
I don't think they existed.
No, they can see through time. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. The reason why Lucifer wants to wipe the slate clean is because he wants to reset the universe to have Lucinda back, to choose him instead of Daniel. Lucinda loved Daniel more than Lucifer because Daniel wants her for who she is, and he would never eclipse her with his desires. Her betrayal of Lucifer was what this fall was all about. Lucinda loved Lucifer.
She caused the fall of all angels?
Right.
Yeah. Lucinda loved Lucifer until it hurt her. Until their love was consumed by his pride and rage.
She's the one that created... Okay.
She stopped loving Lucifer because the thing that he called love made her disappear. Their adoration never diminished the throne, but his love diminished her. In the end, she was the angel who would tip the scales. The punishment that she bore in millennia was for her, not Daniel's. During the fall, both Lucinda and Daniel still chose love as the highest of all. The throne can't do anything about it because it's out of their hands. I don't know what the throne is.
It's God.
It's a chair.
But it will come at a price, the giving up of their angelic natures. They will be born again, made anew as mortals. They will not remember anything. No angel would cross their path. They will live and they will die just like every other mortal. Lucy and Daniel accept it, but with one condition, to return the outcast back into the fold of heaven. So they want the outcast to be, embraced.
But they weren't angels.
Doesn't matter.
They weren't demons either.
But they weren't even human. What were they? I don't understand. They
sound
sound like just other fallen angels.
Yeah. 17 years later, Lucy is studying at Emerald College. Her parents drive her to Emerald, and as they pass by the Sword and Cross Reform School, her parents say, "That's a little ominous. Glad you don't go there." Lucy did go to Sword and Cross in her former life, but she doesn't remember. There's a party after the orientation week on the other rooms at the dormitory. Lucy is invited by her wacky roommate, Nora.
Oh my god!
I totally forgot.
I want this to be a conspiracy.
Lucy leaves the party. Yeah,
both universes are like they actually exist together.
Yeah. Lucy leaves the party to seek quiet air.
That
has to be a pull quote.
I'm sorry, I just can't. Quiet air. When she's in the courtyard,
because air is normally so loud.
She meets a really handsome boy, short golden hair, soft looking lips, and gorgeous violet eyes. He introduced himself as Daniel.
I want fucking violet eyes.
No, you don't. Too. It means you have something, like a disease. I don't.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
It's like
just for vampires and fallen.
The line that Lucy said to Daniel in the Fallen book, first Fallen novel book, but now it is Daniel who says to Lucy, "You look so familiar. I could have sworn we've met somewhere before." It's always that line that begins everything, and at that moment, Lucy and Daniel's angel friends, whom they don't remember now, Ariana Roland, Annabelle, Ariana's sister, if you forgot, because I did, Miles and Shelby, are watching them from above, and that's how Rapture ends.
So we just saved everyone a bunch of time.
Yeah. Fuck this book. When it was revealed that Lucinda and Lucifer were there, I was like, okay, that's cool. This would be cool. Way cooler, not in this setting. Because at this point, I was just annoyed.
Yeah.
I was just why?
That would be a much better book by itself.
Yeah. Because we all know, because I've been writing stories about Satan. I always write Satan as this really funny, quirky character. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting the differences that Lauren Kate took versus what I took.
So what are we supposed to learn from all this?
Love is more powerful than all things.
Don't fall in love with Satan and then fuck him over.
Don't fall in love.
Check mark.
Done.
Nailed it.
Alright, well, we've done good work here today.
Excellent job, guys.
I feel like...
Oh my god.
What do I even feel? I don't know.
I don't feel anything anymore. I feel dead. I am dead. I'm
beyond dead.
Why do you think... Okay, I understand the shallow reasons why this is popular, but is there any other reason why it's popular?
No. I don't think so. Cuz it's just it's nothing. It's nothing.
Cuz at least the one thing I will say is that at least this one had some sort of overarching thing that it was trying to do and explain, and the main character is actually involved in this whole big conspiracy, whereas Twilight, it was just nothing really happened in the last book.
Yeah.
So
she had a baby. Wait, was that the last one?
That was the last one.
Yeah.
I never read the books.
She has a baby. Yeah.
That kills her. Almost kills her. It does kill her.
It does kill her, and then they bring her back.
Yeah, then they come back, and then
brought back.
The ending. Oh, the movie ending of that was just really.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, but that's what exactly happened. Okay, we're not talking about Twilight. Okay.
We're not talking about Twilight. It's very similar, but not. No, I don't think so. I don't think anything about this book is interesting. And the interesting bits that are there that are hidden amongst the shit are so few and far between, and never expounded on in a a more interesting way that
yeah.
And to get to the really interesting bit, which is the fact that
books.
the fact that it's Lucifer is a big Lucinda and Lucifer are
a thing.
It's so far gone, and it's I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Eric's taking some quiet air.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I have to take some quiet air. I'm gonna say that from now on. Guys, I need to get some quiet air.
I'm gonna step out for some quiet air.
Oh my god.
That was big.
It's like I think that's not anything. I think that's just the Wikipedia page, like, because that entire Wikipedia page is just written really not good. So
just one person.
But like,
probably.
so that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with this in any way. But like, oh god,
so what you could have done is like make this a duology and gotten all this done in 2 books.
Yeah.
And like pushing it all together, getting rid of like the shadow jumping and just going to the whole 3D thing.
The second book was
nothing. It was just nothing. They could have ended the first book with her jumping into a shadow.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, would.
And then it could have just gone straight into and then just turn it and then just jumped straight into passion and like learning all that shit and learning about our past lives, because that would have been a more seamless move. So, like, the second book is just nothing. It's nothing. At least from the Wikipedia. We obviously didn't read it. We just have the Wikipedia page. Yeah. So, like, there's a good chance that there's actual plot happening that we just don't know about. They just gave us the shit that they think we cared about.
Which is the nothing?
The nothing bit. Which makes me think that that's all that's in that book is that. So, I don't, it's just, like, the entire second book could have just been deleted. It's, like... It would be way cooler if she jumped into a shadow and like in the middle, like the climactic scene of this one was her jumping into and her experiencing some shit or whatever.
Yeah, and then she comes out like whatever she learns like gives her a clue as to like save Penn or something and
or whatever Penn or like dies. And then Penn dies and it's like I honestly had no emotions for this at that point. And I was like, wow, Penn's dead. Whoa.
Yeah, I was more upset with lady. I was like, oh, Miss Sophia. The like, she was so nice. This little granny lady I was imagining, and then like she's like,
that was
like,
probably the best twist in there was Miss Sophia, which is sad because Miss Sophia is like a nothing character for the entire thing, which I guess makes sense.
She's helpful.
She's helpful.
Librarian. She gives them the book. She probably started the fire.
Probably.
So one of the
absolutely.
One of the fixes I have is that she should have figured out at least that she and Daniel have like something like magical happening by like 25% through the book. Yeah.
There should have been something. She should have
figured it out.
I kept thinking like she was constantly dreaming about him, so like stalker alert, but she was like, I know him from somewhere, like her dreams weren't like actual. I believe they were like memories.
Well, like I believe like her dreams are absolutely memories. They absolutely are. It's just the way that they're written is so stupid.
It's so weird,
It's weird. But yeah, like no, I absolutely believe that her dreams are memories. That she's remembering stuff, but she just keeps thinking they're a dream because she's trying to explain the weirdness away in some way. Because like there are multiple times where I've like had a dream and then I see a person, I'm like, I swear I saw that person in a dream before, but I have no idea who they are. And like I would easily explain like, oh, deja vu or something or whatever weird
deja vu's not real.
It's not, but like still like there's a human way to be able to explain that stuff away, but she doesn't try to do that. She doesn't act human even though she's supposed to be human.
But she's not human.
She's not, but she's
an angel.
She's not. You're right. She's not. But like we're supposed to believe she is a human
because she thinks she's a human.
Because she thinks she's a human, and she's cursed to live like be a human, basically.
Live like humans do.
Die every 17 years.
Does that make sense?
I mean,
why 17?
I imagine this happened like, you know, back when they fell, and so the life expectancy was only until about 17.
Right.
So I think that makes sense, actually.
When people, you know, just die all the time.
I mean, they're angels. They don't
fall in love by the time you're 12, so.
At least 4 babies by time you're 13.
Yeah.
The minute you have your first blood.
Baby time.
Go.
Oh, gross.
That's why there's that entire moment where Sansa rips her bed apart in Game of Thrones because she has her first blood and she's like, "Don't tell Joffrey. I don't want to have his children." Which I get it. I understand.
Yeah, that's totally
that makes
acceptable.
Sense.
Don't want that.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, it's just like a 17 I think is like because like they're 17-year-olds, and so like it was like an easy way to explain like the whatever.
So what's the time frame of like all 4 books? Is it like a year?
I don't know.
Well, didn't they say it was like, what was it, like 18 days and then the second book starts?
Yeah, they had 9 days left.
Then, yeah.
So the whole second book is 9 days?
So like this entire series is maybe 2 months long. Yeah, it's 2 months long, the whole series.
You can't fall in love with someone that fast!
In 5 books!
That's, I mean...
Or 4 books, excuse me. 4 books!
Really
2 months.
stretching it there. Kate.
Ooh!
What's her name?
Lauren Kate.
Lauren.
She's 2 first names. I don't trust her.
I know, it's very confusing. I didn't understand which one was the first.
Okay. I wanted to say also that I know it's hard to write a book, but
yes,
there's no excuse.
I give it 1.5.
I mean, what bothers me is like how hard it is to write a book, and how both me and you, Brittany, have had so much struggle writing a book. And like publishing
trying
books.
Not to do what is popular.
Yeah, which trying desperately, and how this is a bestseller. And it's like I should just give up. I should just write just garbage.
I should just like write a fan fiction, change the names, and sell it.
Yeah. New York Times. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, but whose really bestseller was it? Never mind.
New York.
New
York.
Know
the
New York Best Times. It's okay.
You know that high quality list that should be something.
Honestly,
shouldn't mean anything.
Listen, I work at a bookstore.
Yes.
And bestsellers come out the day that they are released.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming the publisher is paying money.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Book on the bestseller, because how in the world is James Patterson fucking coming out with a book every other Monday?
Yeah.
Being on the bestseller list every time.
I think it has to do with
reading
pre-orders.
that much.
Oh, yeah. To ensure a spot on the Wall Street Journal's bestseller list, you need to sell about 3,000 books in the first week and hit gold in the New York Times bestseller list, yielding 9,000 copies in the first week. So to get a bestseller that early, you have to have pre-orders. So it's like
I don't believe that many people are putting that. A lot of the books that we pop out the back room, their on sale date.
Oh yeah, it's a preeminent list of best-selling books. So it's like before they're actually sold, whatever. The bestseller list has been published in the Times, blah, 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 blah. Criticisms. The list has been criticized by authors, publishers, book industry executives, and others for not providing an accurate accounting of true bestseller status.
Hello!
These criticisms have been ongoing ever since the list originated. A book industry report in the 1940s found that bookseller lists were a poor indicator of sales since they were based on misleading data and were only measuring fast sales. See fast sale criticism below. A 2004 report quoted a senior book marketing executive said the rankings were smoke and mirrors, while a report in book history found that many professionals in the book industry scoffed at the notion that the lists are accurate. So yeah, it's like fast sales. A book that never makes the list can actually outsell books on the bestseller list. This is because the bestseller list reflects sales in a given week, not total sales. Thus, one book may sell heavily in a given week, making the list, while another may sell, all at a slower pace, never making the list, but selling more copies over time. So it's based solely on like the first few weeks that it's out.
Dumb.
And like I know like a lot of, because like there's like YouTubers that I follow who released a book, and like they said like the best way to get on the New York Times bestseller, because like her goal was like to be a New York Times bestseller. Like one of her like dreams and wishes was like maybe one day I'll be a New York Times bestseller, whatever. And I guess like she found out that like if you pre-order the book, it those sales are
that's how it works on Amazon too.
Yeah. So, like, no doubt, like, if anything, this was, like, it was showcased online. It's like, do you like Twilight?
Read this book. It's the same thing. We just changed some names.
And the monster.
So, yeah, like, that's probably exactly what happened. Because, like, you could, like, I get recommendations for books all, like, a fucking time that aren't out yet. They're just like, oh, did you like this book? You should try this book.
Yeah, and then I click it because it's like, I am interested in this. And then it's like, it's not coming out for 6 more months. I'm like, heh, bye.
God damn it!
Why would you tease me like that?
Curse it. What were the other segments of the book?
Comments and reviews, and would you recommend?
No.
Yeah, no.
What are the comments in Goodreads? What's up, my dude?
The first 20 are like 1 star, so they're pretty good. My favorite is the first one by Kat Kennedy because it's amazing. She's like, how not to write a book.
A girl named Thea is just like, is this book even worth reading?
Not unless you enjoy being frustrated.
Yeah. Friend reviews, reader, Q&A.
You need to sign up to see reviews. I have an account. It's on my phone though.
I think I have one too. I just can't be bothered right now.
I don't want to get my phone. I'm being fucking lazy.
I mean, they're all pretty long, and a lot of them give it 1 star, and you don't even get to the 2 stars until like all the way down the page. Oh, there's a 3 star.
There we go.
Oh man.
Kat Kennedy recommends it for no one ever for any reason other than to teach them how not to write. In this lifetime, you're nothing more than you appear to be. A stupid, selfish, ignorant, spoiled little girl who thinks the world lives or dies on whether she gets to go out with some good-looking boy at school. Even if your death wouldn't accomplish something so long awaited, glorious, and grand, I'd still relish this moment killing you. I'm sorry, was I supposed to agree with absolutely everything the evil villain said and wait with bated breath for her to kill Lucinda Price painfully on my behalf? This review has spoilers, by the way. I have a list of rules for authors, kind of a checklist to ensure that their novel is going to be good. This book breaks them all. For posterity, I'm going to list exactly which ones and why. 1. Don't assume that your audience isn't as smart as you. Statistically speaking, you're probably sitting on a fat old average like the rest of us. Try to flex our gray matter, please. Lauren Cake thinks
I don't think we need to read all that.
No, but I do like
read like the rules though. Like these are important.
Number 2, don't cover up bad writing and plot with a sexy, smoldering character. Chances are they won't be nearly sexy or smoldering enough. It is painful to read badly written literature, so just get it right the first time, please. Rule number 5, characterization is everything. This doesn't mean that your characters have to be likable at all times or likable at all, but they have to be interesting, worth reading, and fleshed out. They have to react to situations within their character or in relation to their personal growth, and they have to reflect the plot and the changes in your story.
Yes.
Number 6, your story needs to have an actual story. It needs to have conflict, resolution,
please.
climax, beginning and end. They don't always need to occur in standard order, but something needs to happen. Number 7, research. Know what the hell you're writing about and put the work and research into your story. Nothing is more annoying than reading a book about an angelical preacher in the 17th century burning witches when you know perfectly well how very historically inaccurate that is. Number 8, consider what message your story is telling. Remember that usually and historically, stories don't usually exist just for the hell of it. Stories have messages and meanings. They teach us and give us a perspective on life. Storytelling carries a great responsibility because there are few things more emotive to people than stories.
Yep.
And those are the ones that are broken immensely.
Yeah.
We forgot to talk about this. Lucy and Gaby's relationship.
Oh yeah. Here you go.
Can we talk about that?
We have like 10-15 minutes.
Gaby is new to the school when Lucy arrives.
Yes.
She's a part of a little clique. And Lucy immediately hates her. Just immediately does not like her. She's beautiful. Because she's gorgeous and southern. And like also it's the only thing I highlighted in my book.
Oh no.
Because it's like that time where she's like
how many beverages are you drinking, Brittany?
8.
Just 2. but they're both caffeinated.
Both of them are not good for me. Where was it? There was there's like
I
where
had
she's
to
like
have this one because of what we're talking about.
For fuck's sake.
So
I'm trying to remember what chapter it was on. Because I was like, oh yeah. So in chapter 14, she starts listing out everything that happened. Yeah, here's my only actual highlight in the book. And the reason why it's a highlight is because it's the date of my birthday. So she's like, September 18th, Dee accuses me of stalking him. And I was like, yes. This is my legacy.
Yes.
It's like, fuck yeah, my birthday. Dee accuses you of stalking him. Perfect.
Well, she does later on hate, because she overhears a conversation with Gaby and Daniel, and it sounds like they're boyfriend and girlfriend, right. So she gets really jealous.
That doesn't get to, you don't get to decide then that you just hate that person.
But that's what happens.
Yeah.
True, I understand that.
That's
but
normal.
She still, but that doesn't happen until what? Chapter.
That was a social.
That's
so before Todd dies.
Poor Todd.
No, Todd dies in.
Yeah, Todd dies.
Like chapter 10, he dies.
So quick.
Because I wrote fire in the library.
Well, the chapters are so long. Whatever.
I know. That's cool.
Religion lessons. Chapter 10 is the library sleuth.
Oh, it's chapter 5. Social, then after party.
Yeah, party all night. Yeah. So at chapter 5. So for the first 5 chapters, she just hates Gaby because Gaby is pretty. Then in chapter 5, she kind of has a reason to be upset with her. So okay, that part is fine. But like, still, that doesn't.
So nice.
She is like Gaby is nothing.
She's like
but nice to her this entire book.
The hospital dying from the fire,
and Gaby's like,
oh my god, like let me help you.
Like you could go through every single conversation Gaby and Lucy have together. Gaby is nothing but nice to her, but Lucy is interpreting all of her words as something horrible.
Yeah,
and it's like. Why?
Which is like unreliable narrator stuff, which can work, but the evidence, like the actual stuff that's happening, doesn't back it up at all. Yeah. So and then so either there's like there's something like wrong, there's like bad writing, or we're not supposed to trust Lucy at all, which is like another negative thing that the writer probably doesn't want. So
yeah. Because, like, there's often times where, like, that narration works, where you're not supposed to believe your narrator, or, like, you, like, start to question your narrator, because at the end it turns into, like, this whole plot twist, but there is no plot twist.
Like in my favorite short story, A Rose for Emily. It's so good.
Like, it's just, like, but, like, for the first 5 chapters, she just hates Gaby. Gaby's nothing but nice to her, hates her. And then in chapter 5, you're, like, you get this moment where Lucy overhears Gaby and Daniel talking, and you're supposed to like be on Lucy's side of hating Gaby, and like that's supposed to be your reason for hating Gaby. But Gaby still hasn't given you any. But it's
like as a reader, I'm not like super into Daniel, so it's like I don't care if he has a girlfriend.
Yeah,
I feel like Daniel.
I wonder why.
Well, like it's like the thing where it's like it's writing to the point where like you are the narrator. Even though this is in third person, which is completely against that idea. Like, you're already outside of your narrator. And, like, your narrator is supposed to be an entity outside of everything who has a unbiased view of everything.
You have third person limited, which is what I usually do, where it's not an external narrator, but it's not the character either.
It's like if a camera was just hanging out.
It's like how Harry Potter is written. That's third limited most of the time.
Yeah, because sometimes it bounces to like Voldemort's world or something.
Yeah.
You know, the Voldemort world.
But like you never leave Harry's head. Like you never suddenly are in Ron's head.
You're still just something. Oh, I'd love that. I would love a book. I love a book in Ron's point of view.
Let's do it.
Yes, let's write fan fiction.
I am the worst accent ever.
But yeah, it's like you're supposed to be on Lucy's side of her hatred for Gaby, but I wasn't at all. Yeah. I'm like, he's being really nice to you.
Yeah.
And like with her, like especially with like her interaction with Molly, I would feel like Gaby would have been a nice like.
But then Gaby's friends with Molly. Like they talk.
You'll learn that they all talk to each other because they're all angels that did not choose a side. They all are connected in some way.
But they're not outcasts.
They're not outcasts.
Outcasts don't exist in this book.
I'm so confused.
I don't know what outcasts are. I don't know. And
they're
I don't
like these disgusting creatures that came up from the sewer, and they're just like,
help me, I'm an outcast.
And that's exactly what they are.
Yeah,
and then we sent them to heaven. Because why not?
And then they became angels.
That's how
you can become an angel.
Sure. You know what? We're just gonna rewrite our own lore, right? No, it's just like I hate that trope too, where every other girl is your enemy unless she's explicitly weird, like Penn is.
Like the quirky friend, who's not a threat.
Yeah, not a threat to your relationship.
To your relationships, that's dumb.
Yeah, because like if I had that mentality, me and Julia would not be friends. Because Julia is a very attractive woman who also gets a lot of boy attention. She doesn't believe that and everything. But like I'm currently in a relationship, so it's like whatever. But like if there was ever a boy that I was interested in who I had to introduce to Julia, if that mentality, I would be scared to introduce her like to people, which is stupid. That's stupid. That's not how you have friendships.
It's such a teenager way to think, though.
It's like Julia.
Like it's realistic, but
she's a good person, and she stands hoes before bros.
Hell yeah.
But it's just it's just, it's stupid. It's just like girl on girl hate that doesn't need to exist in this book.
All right, we got another comment.
Hi, John. So this is Twilight with Angels and Nephilim. Also, I'm sure this is correct, but this was made into it was made into a movie. There is a movie of this book.
I heard it was terrible from what I was reading.
I mean,
I almost watched some clips because when I looked up when I clicked the link for the podcast in the recommended, there were different scenes on it. And you guys can probably watch.
Oh yeah. Probably. But yes, there's no Nephilim in this book, John. They're in the second book. We went through
with the outcasts?
No, that's the
No, the outcasts are introduced into the second book. They're like we have an 18-day truce from the outcasts. Which who?
They're the mole people from the sewer.
But this book, John, Fallen, is Twilight but Fallen Angels.
Thank you for your questions.
Yeah, that's it. That's
it.
That's all you need to know. No other thing. You don't need it. But it's just there's just like it's stupid. It's stupid. It's like there's like that girl there's girl on girl hate in Twilight too.
Yes,
like,
Brianna. Yes.
Oh, hi, Bree. It is almost as bad as the Mark series, the Vamp series that was. Mark.
Can we never read that? Let's not.
Let's never read
I didn't even finish the first one.
Like, no, there's probably more than that.
My God.
It's so popular.
So many of those books.
Yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Like as soon as I got to the blowjob scene, I was like, "What is happening?"
I'm sorry.
What? Wait, what?
In
Mark, a blowjob scene?
Yeah, in the hallway. Like right when she gets to school.
I started reading it and I didn't finish the first.
I've purposely never read those books.
It's like
I'm gonna read it now.
It's when she like gets to school and there's like
a blowjob in a hallway. Described. Excuse me.
Book? I've recommended that to 14-year-olds. Thank you for telling me that. Their worlds are gonna change.
Well, like that's like I mean, there's like a tasteful way to do blowjobs.
Well, like she doesn't actually see it, but she like is turning the corner and then she sees a girl on her knees and then backs away.
Well, there's
that's it.
But then she like stays there and listens to their conversation while this is happening. Like it's weird.
Masturbates, right?
Huh?
I mean, that's the only way to do it.
That's the only way to do it, right?
You can just stay and not.
She's into that, right?
I have no idea. I didn't finish the book. I was just like, what?
Well, because like, okay, so in Looking for Alaska by John Green, there's like a moment where like, he has to write like a really awkward blowjob basically, and it's meant to be funny. It's meant to be awkward and funny.
Yeah.
And he does it really well.
But that was fine.
Yeah, you're supposed to feel uncomfortable because he is uncomfortable about what's happening.
She sees the blowjob happening.
Okay, I don't remember. I read it like when there was only 2 books out. So.
No, she sees it and she masturbates. This book is actually a porn book.
It's erotica.
It's erotica, my dudes.
Erotica.
It's young adult erotica.
So gross.
That's so weird.
Are we making you feel uncomfortable yet?
But yeah, it's just, no, I don't want to read like bad books for a while. I want to read a good book.
So our next book.
Yeah. So, what? When are we doing this one? Next month?
It's next month if we can work it, because April 28th is a Saturday, and that is the anniversary of Nancy Drew and the Old Clock. So we're going to be doing. I don't know how old it's going to be because I didn't look up that part. I think it's like. I'll just look it up right now.
40.
Let's do it.
Nancy
20.
Drew and the Old
30. 50,
Clock.
60, 100.
It's pretty old release date. April 28th, 1930. So
Bad with math.
Me too.
So it's like 88 years old?
Something like that. 2018 minus 1930.
It would be
88 years old, yeah. Brittany's really good with math. Trust her.
You're totally wrong.
I tested out of calculus in junior year, okay?
I failed pre-calc.
I just loved how that conversation went. Like, I'm really bad at math. I think it's 88 years. No, there's no way. There's no way.
Oh, wait, it's 88.
So yeah, it's going to be 88 years old as of April 28th. So if we can work it, we'll try to do the podcast on April 28th. But it could, depending on what your weekend schedule is going to look like.
Always me.
You're not the most awkward of schedules.
I never close on Saturdays.
So we can still make it work. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. All the wood.
That's going to be the one day.
Oh, God.
Because, like, we could still do it, like, the week prior or the weekend after or something. Still, like,
we'll figure it out. But that's what we're doing for next turn.
Yeah, next month will be Nancy Drew and the Old Clock.
But in 2 weeks, we're going to have another podcast, not on the book.
Not
on the comparison.
Yes, so we're going to be talking about Fallen versus Hush Hush, even though we kind of touched on it. But we'll get into more of conversation.
Go into more depth about it.
Both romantic, teen, fallen angel books that
are bestsellers.
But apparently
and are not the best.
So we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So that'll be the in-between podcast, and then the one after that, well, we'll see. We might have to do 2 in-between podcasts.
Yeah, we'll have to do 2 in-betweens, because we could do one, because it's going to be April, so we could talk about anything. Fertility. April, it's going to be spring, so I don't know. Easter will be on the 1st. Easter is on the 1st, by the way.
April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st. Day. It's April Fool's Day, Easter, and my dad's birthday. All in one.
Happy birthday, Miss Strangle.
What is Hush Hush, Twilight with Mimes? I want to say yes so bad.
Please make this happen. World, universe,
Twilight with Mimes. How would you write that?
No, Hush Hush is more like, it's not Twilight.
I don't know. It's like abusive relationship 101.
Twilight.
Red flags.
It's 50 Shades of Grey with Fallen Angels.
Yeah, that's better. That is good.
Yeah.
Which isn't 50 Shades of fan fiction of Twilight anyway?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm like saying this as I'm completely doubting myself and everyone's watching.
I just like,
I'm saying it really slow so you can stop me when I'm wrong.
No, I would have. No worry.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well,
I know you well enough to know.
Let's see. So to end off, what rating would you give this book?
1.5.
I give it 1. I don't really want to give it a star.
Yeah, I said 1 as well.
Because, like,
I'm so nice to my books. 1.5. I bought the book, so I have to.
I mean,
give it a half.
I'm glad I can donate these to, like, the library and stuff.
You highlighted it.
Oh, I did.
Fuck! I'm gonna donate mine to Bernie's Book Bank.
God damn. Oh, that's true. I could do that. Because even though it's highlighted, it can be donated.
They'll be like, why did they highlight this?
My birthday! Guys, look, my birthday is in a book.
Anyway.
No, yeah, it's like, because, like, I feel like the, like, massive reveal at the end of Lucinda being, like, one of the founding angels, I guess you could say, is interesting, and which warrants it to have, like, this cool story arc. But because it's so far away, and none of it is ever explored in the first one, in any way, shape, or form.
Except where someone is like, is that any relation to Lucifer?
I know, that's your one foreshadowing moment.
That's the one thing.
And it's like, it's stupid. That's like, but like, it's more so foreshadowing to fallen angels, because Lucifer was the first fallen angel, basically. So like, it doesn't foreshadow any of like the first bit, like the last bit. It just foreshadows later in the book, and it's not until you get to the last one that you're like, oh, Lucifer. But that's just you being like, haha, look, here's the thing. I don't think that was meant to ever be a connection to the final books. I feel like she just came up with the idea as she was writing it.
Kind of seems that way.
You want to know what would be cool? If Lucifer and Lucinda...
That was a thing! Anyway.
Write it with sign language and braille. Yes. Twilight with Mimes for blind people. Perfect.
What? Mimes and blind people.
Yes. People who can't read, so they have to read with their hands.
But why would you...
And scene.
Anyway, on that note, that was our thoughts those were our thoughts. I can speak, it's fine. On Fallen by Lauren Kate.
Still there. Still just my head.
Yeah. Leave us your thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Do
you want to kill yourself like I do?
Let us know.
Please tell us. Can we just put the phone number for the suicide hotline so that people, who want to kill themselves at the end of these books have a link.
I'm not gonna do that.
Check the link below. You can talk to somebody to not kill yourself, please. Yeah, our next podcast will be on the 24th of March. Same time, same place.
I want to come up too.
Hey, yeah.
All right,
we're the girls
who do. Oh yeah. So I hope everyone has a good day and doesn't read books like this.
Who doesn't? I hope everyone who doesn't read just has a good day.
Read can fuck off.
And on that note, good day, sirs.
Good day.